Hey guys, welcome to episode 11 of the Converted Podcast. We are a podcast about the Convert to Raid Guild on Aerie Peak. If you're a new listener, my name is Bell Schnickel, and with me I have the wonderful
Sal.
Yes.
Hey, Bill Schnickel. In today's episode, we have the Raid Team Spotlight for Alter Time. The Converted Roundtable will focus on WoW microtransactions. Red will give us the guild events, and Louu is here with Raid Awareness. So, Bill Schnickel, how was your week?
Yo, my week was good, man. It's, people must think that you and I talk all the time, because we do the show
don't.
together and stuff.
We totally don't.
It's like, hey, Sal, how have you been? What's going on? So we get to catch up on the show, which is kind of nice. It's been a good couple weeks, man. I've been doing, the LFRs on the mage and the priest. Get in there with the priest, trying to get those things to drop for my meta. I think I got like 4 left before I have the 20. So that's kind of cool. And my mage kind of...
okay, cool.
Yeah, I'm getting there. And the mage is doing okay. I got the my gear score is like almost 490, somewhere in there.
That's your alt?
Yeah, my alt, yeah. Cool. So it's going good. I'm having fun with that. Been doing some runs with people on Mumble and stuff, some LFR stuff, which has been a blast.
Oh, yeah.
The raid team is doing really good. We got Darumu and Primordius last night, which is kind of cool.
Oh, yes. Really? Both of them?
Yeah, we did. Well, it's funny because, Darumu, that was the second night we worked on him. But Primordius, I got a quick story. We get to Primordius, and I got all the strats on my computer, on the laptop on the side to kind of go over them. So I'm like, hey, listen, guys, I heard there's like a cheese for Primordius. So if anybody knows it, let me know what it is, so we can kind of just save some time. No one says anything. I'm like, all right, guys, I'm gonna break it down. I'll break it down the way that you're supposed to do it. And if anybody, if you think of something, whatever, let me know. So I go through this strat. And I'm going through everything. I'm going through all the different, all the different parts of that fight.
Why?
And then, yes. So then we get to the end of the explanation, right? And Wrist, one of my monk healer, goes, "Hey, I think the cheese is just to tank him and spank him in the middle."
Against the gate.
No, we did it in the middle of the room. Like, we literally just stood in the middle of the room, stacked up, and just tanked and spanked him. So then,
for some reason, people do it against the gate. I don't know why.
I don't know. We got him. So I was like, you made me go through this whole entire explanation. And then you're like, oh, yeah, just tank and spank him. So we lost a little bit of time there. But, yeah, we one-shot him. So that was kind of cool.
Yeah, if you can get Darumu down, you've got Primordius.
So then we went to Animus, which, I'm going to have to really kind of, sit down and kind of learn that fight. That fight's kind of intense. A lot of stuff going on. So we didn't get past that, but by next week, our group right now, we're just going to extend until we get Lei Shen. We're not resetting.
Really?
Yeah, we're going to keep going. We want to get them down before 5-4, so
I get it.
that's our goal. So yeah, man.
Well, our team, Salad Senate, has been just on lockdown with that stinking turtle, right?
Mm-hmm,
Which is the Tordos is a lot harder on 25 than it is on 10. It has to be.
Yeah, because you guys aren't the only ones struggling on that boss, I think.
Right. Every other 25-man team that I hear of, not just in CTR but other places, are just really have a tough time with Tordos. Mm-hmm. But then we got it down, and then head to Megara and one shot.
Okay, nice. That's kind of nice.
I mean, yeah, one shot Megara. But then everyone's like, okay, G-Kun's kind of a gimme fight, right? G-Kun, no problem.
G-Kun's kind of tough, though. I don't know. I mean, it's a little...
Dude, G-Kun on 25 is a lot more complicated.
Yeah.
Because you have to have 2 groups kind of going at once, and it's a lot more complicated. It's a lot to understand. And not just the raid leader has to understand it, but all those nest people do. And so
How'd you guys do?
Working on it.
Okay.
Working on it.
Okay.
In fact, we're going to go in there tonight and bang our head against it. The thing is, DPS is not a problem. It's just getting the nests coordinated.
Right.
And on a 25-man team, you got a lot more people doing it. Mm-hmm. And it's a way different strat. So, yeah, it'll be good though. It'll good, and then after that, we'll head into other stuff. But yeah, so G-Kun tonight.
Hey, good deal, man. That's awesome.
Better drop a pet.
You've been doing any of your Baron stuff? You've been going in there getting coins and stuff, and
religiously, yeah.
Okay.
Actually, you know what? The best way to get coins.
No,
just get in a group with someone that wants coins.
No.
And just go do some dailies.
Okay, I thought you were going somewhere else with that.
Where did you think I was going to go?
I thought you were going pet battles.
Oh yeah, sure, that too. But honestly, if you do the Golden Lotus dailies, which I used to hate, right? Mm-hmm. But now that I'm eye level, whatever to 429, no, sorry, 529 or something. I'm melting these bosses. Mm-hmm. You go in there with a couple of people and you're just 4 minutes in one hub and 4 minutes in the other hub, and suddenly you've got tons of coins.
Yeah, I might have to start doing that because I mean, I don't know. I have fun in the Barons, but I don't know. We'll see.
And
I got to get my coins.
Valor that way too. So the Barons are good. I definitely do the Barons, but once I get the mats for the quest, I just get bored of it. So I go and get coins from the Golden Lotus.
Okay.
It's easy.
Hey, Mumble. Have you been getting in Mumble lately?
Dude, I don't know what your deal is. I've been sitting in Mumble the entire time I've been in CTR.
I'm like becoming like a Mumble junkie. Like before,
I'm
gonna tell you guys something. Like back in the day, like I would log into the game. You know, that's my kind of like chill time. I get in there, I do my stuff, and I talk all day. You know, at work. So at night, I kind of want to just chill. So, but I'm telling you what, man, I'm having a blast in Mumble, man. These people are crazy. You know,
Dude, you've been hitting up Party 5?
Party 5, Party 6, Party 3, Raid 5. No, Party 5's happening. There's no question. But if you guys are in the guild and you're not using Mumble and you want to meet people, just get in there. You know, they got the private channels and public channels. Obviously, the public channels, you know, it's a little bit more, reserved and stuff. It's just a little casual chit chat, you know. And you have the private channels, which are unmoderated. But I tell you what, man, get in Mumble if you want to meet people because it's awesome. It's a blast. Use the Mumble. Agree.
I brought in a friend in Mumble last night, as a matter of fact. My buddy Cammy just joined the guild, but he brought his tune over called Hug-a-Tree.
Okay.
So you can guess what class he is. You know, he's a rogue. No, he's a druid. He's a druid.
He's a rogue.
Hug-a-Tree. And he's a good friend of mine. We used to live close together in the last place I lived when we lived in Seoul, Korea. And now he's in the guild. Amazing.
That's awesome. That's really neat. That's kind of neat. That's cool.
Oh, I'm really excited. He's the guy that this is the guy, that bought me WoW for Christmas several years ago. He gave me a big box that had the original game plus all the expansions in it and a Wi-Fi router. Like a brand new Wi-Fi router.
This guy hooked you up.
And do you know what I gave him for Christmas?
Nothing?
A coffee cup.
Oh, boo. Horrible friend. Horrible friend. Horrible gift giver. You don't want to be on Sal's Christmas list.
So anyway, if you see him walking around, he's in the Nalek sub guild.
Okay.
If you see Hug-a-Tree, I want everyone to give him a little hug or something. Because he's a super nice guy. He doesn't know anyone yet. But I did bring him into Mumble and introduce people last night.
That's cool.
So Hug-a-Tree.
All right.
Yeah. So, oh my God, this past week and a half or 2 weeks, what is it, the Steam sale? Were you involved in that at all? You know,
this is my routine with the Steam sale. I go to the Steam sale page. I look at all these games that I want, right? They're like $3, $4, $5. And I'm like, ooh, that's nice. And then I'm like, I don't have the time to play it. But then I'm like, well, let me just buy it because it's so cheap. And then one day when I do have time, I can play it. You know, it was I got it for dirt cheap.
Collect.
But then I'm like, by the time I have time to play it, it'll be on sale again. So no, man, I got a game which I'll talk about later. But I got a couple games which I'll talk about later. But no, I didn't actually buy any games. I had my finger on the trigger a couple times, but never actually pulled it. So I'll get the next one.
There's one game that was $2, and I went in to buy it. I'm like, that's $2 to buy it. And then it gave me the option of, why don't you just buy 4 and give 3 to your friends? And I said, okay. I just sent
Okay, I want to get back on Sal's gift giving list. That's awesome.
Yeah, that was cool. Now I'm connected to a bunch of people on Steam. I'll tell you. Okay. One big thing. One of my favorite games is Portal. Okay. Yeah.
Did you have that shirt on? I wanted the last time.
Yeah, the Portal shirt. Yeah, I love Portal. Well, Boone, who's on our team, is great player. He's like, hey, what's this? I'm like, oh, you should play it. I'll go get it. It's really cheap. And he went and got Portal and Portal 2. And I was actually in Mumble with him as he was playing it. It was after Raid, and he's like, I'm going to get into Portal. And I'm listening to him like go through all these really hard levels. And he didn't have any problem at all. He just sliced through this game. I had to like look up some of the puzzles for Portal when I was first going through it. And then he gets to the end boss, and I'm like, dude, it took me a long time to get that boss. Like, it's kind of hard. He's like, yeah, okay, I see. I'm listening to him.
Right.
And he beat it with like 2 minutes to go.
So he finished the game? It's that short? Like that's it?
Yeah. Well, no, it took him like 3 or 4 hours.
Okay.
But I listened to him at the last part of it, and I could not believe he beat my game that I told him to play.
That's awesome.
So easily. But he really liked it because Portal's awesome. So what else has been going on with you?
Not much, man. Look, I got some real life stuff going on. I know you and I have touched on it before, but one of my big hobbies is fantasy football. I've been doing fantasy football for a long time. I've made a lot of money doing it, thousands of dollars playing. So I take it pretty seriously, and I'm starting to get into the beginnings of the thick of that season, getting prepped and stuff. So a lot of my time over the next couple weeks is going to be just getting ready for that. So if anybody in the guild is into fantasy and you want to talk some fantasy nerd talk, let me know. We'll get in mumble and talk, man, because over the next 3 to 4 weeks, I'm in 13 leagues this coming season. Yeah, 13 leagues. I run 6 of them, and then I do another 7 on the side. Nice. So it's I used to quit WoW during football season. Like years ago, I would actually unsub, do my fantasy thing until after the Super Bowl, and then come back. I'm not doing that anymore, obviously, but it's a big thing. Yeah, I love it. So if you're out there and you like fantasy, man, hit me up and let's talk, man, and we can kind of exchange some ideas and stuff.
Okay, what's that text message you sent me the other day with a photo of something going on in your house?
Oh yeah. I got a room. See, right now I'm playing in the closet. Behind, which you can't see, is a closet wall basically back here. So we're actually taking we have a 3-car garage, and I'm taking the 3rd car and actually turning half of it into an office. So I'm moving in there, and it's gonna be soon. I got the electrical guy coming over in a couple days, and we're gonna drywall it up and get in there. So it'll be nice. I'm looking forward to that because I'll have a little more space and can get a little better organized and better lighting and better everything. So.
Oh, cool! Make a little studio.
A little something, make it. I gotta have a cool little sign behind me like Sal does. It says, "Hi, how are you?"
Yeah.
So.
I love this.
I think it's awesome. I love that thing. So yeah, that's going on. But yeah, just working on that a little bit, and just real life's been busy, man. But we're going on, man. We're doing our thing.
Cool. Well, you wanted to tell me about something that I haven't heard about. What's going on in your head?
All right.
I've always got these ideas. So
I posted something on Twitter this past week, and I think I was at work, or I don't know where I was, and I thought of, everybody's watched Survivor at some point. It's been on for 60 years. They've had 1,000 survivors. So I was thinking, and this is, I have an open mind. Think big picture here. I'm thinking,
worried.
Don't be worried. Don't be worried.
Scared.
I'm thinking Survivor CTR. Okay, and I'm not talking in-game. I'm talking real life. Hey, what's up? We're doing this, okay? Now, this is what I'm thinking, right? You got 14... Okay, let me back up a little bit. My brain's going... I got to back up. I got to reverse a little bit. Back up the truck. I can get a hold of an island here in Florida. I live in Florida.
What?
No. Hear me out.
You can't get an island.
Okay, where I live in Florida... Listen, don't make me laugh. I'm trying to get this out. Where I live in Florida, I'm close to the beach. I'm about 10 minutes from the beach. Okay? There's a bunch of barrier islands around where I live that you can, some of them they'll have parks, state parks on them, and some of them are just you just go there on your boat and hang out for the day and just fish or swim or whatever. And then some of them you can actually camp at. Now, there's one that I know of for sure that you can actually camp at. You can stay there and stuff like that. I got to find out if there's any time constraints as far as how long you can stay there. But you can camp. You can do campfires. You can do anything you want there and stay there. I'm thinking if we can get 14 guildies. Okay, we got 2 teams of 7. Okay, hear me out. Keep it open. Open mind. 2 teams of 7. Okay, 14 days. Tribal council, competitive events, fishing, cooking, fire building, all the stuff we're doing in game, but in real life. Make it happen there. At a competitive level, okay. Every night someone gets voted off. Film it, okay, with a small crew, nothing big, nothing crazy. Get it filmed and post that thing on YouTube, man, in weekly segments. Now, there's obviously a lot to it. There's liability, medical, a lot of stuff. It's not let's just show up and hang out for a couple of weeks, guys, and just party on an island. It's not gonna, there's not going to be anything provided for you. You're going to have water, but you're going to have to find shelter. You're going to have to fish for your own food. You're going to have to do all that kind of stuff. You get one personal item. You get one thing you can bring. Someone, I think, on Twitter was like, hey, I'll bring my TCG deck or something like that, or to mess around with. I don't know. Some trading card thing. But it could happen. I got some stuff written down. I got a paper here. Check it out. So
you wrote stuff down?
I wrote stuff down, man. I'm not playing around. I ain't playing. Now, check it out. I have down 14 guildies, 14 days, 2 teams. Okay, I'm not going to do that anymore. But the islands in Florida... Time frame January, okay? I'm thinking January.
This January?
Now, this is all just me writing stuff down. This is not anything crazy or concrete. Okay, I'm thinking like after BlizzCon. Okay, we get out there. At that time, Florida, where I live, is about 70 in the daytime, 70 to 80. And then at night, excuse me, guys. At night, it's like 40, maybe in the 30s. 40. It's a little chilly at night. You might get a little cold at night. Okay, 14 days, one person off every day, and have all the challenges, fishing, cooking, all that stuff. You get one personal item. We provide fire, because we're not going to go out there with flint and start trying to make fire. We'll have matches and stuff. Forget that. All right, we ain't playing. Water. You got to be 21 years or older. Okay? Now, the prize, right? Like, who wants to go out there and, like, suffer for 2 weeks for nothing, right? I mean, you got to have something to shoot for, right? I'm thinking, if we can get even half the guild, okay? This is not crazy, okay? If we get half the guild, okay, like a fundraiser for this, okay, $1 from half the guild gets you about $2,000, okay? So first place takes home, let's say $1,500. Second place takes home $5. You know, obviously you got to pay for some other stuff too. But I mean, I'm thinking like it can be done. You have to have some kind of monetary incentive, I think, to go out there and suffer for 2 weeks. And we post it on YouTube. We can have people send in audition tapes or like audition things on YouTube and have like the viewers of our show watch them and vote for them. Okay. And then announce the 14 people that are going to go on the show at this year's BlizzCon. Yes. You're feeling me now. I see it in your eyes. You're feeling it. Okay, now, no. Yeah, nod your head.
I'm going the other direction.
So, no. My head. So, obviously, for this, right, you need like a planning committee. We have to have people like plan the events and actually really get down, because there's a lot of like nuts and bolts stuff that has to happen. But like a planning committee, we could get a host, you know, because see, like people were like, hey, why don't you host? But I'm too competitive, man. I got to be in it.
Oh, you want to be in the
I got to be in it, man. I can't, I got to be in it, man. I can't stay under the sidelines watching this. There's no way. I'd be dying on the inside, Sal. I'd be dying. You want to host?
Yeah, I'll stay in the hotel.
I can't see you suffering anyway. I can't see you out there with, you know.
No.
Yeah, I can't see you out there.
I don't camp. I'm a city girl. I don't camp.
So I was like, listen, we could talk to like Zug. Obviously, we gotta get them involved. Talk to Zug, Coltrane, and kind of, you know, get some info from them. But we can make this happen, Sal. This could happen. This could be real. Okay. This could be an annual thing. Like this year, it's in Florida, right? 2014. 2015 is in Texas. 16, California. 17, New England. 18, Minnesota. This could happen.
You want to go camping on the beach in Minnesota?
No, like Michigan or something. There's lakes out there. Okay? It could happen. So if you guys
survive the radiation.
If you're listening to this, okay, I want you guys send an email, convertedpodcast@gmail.com. Tweet us, send us a private message, whatever. If you have ideas of how we can make this happen, because I believe this can be made a reality. I don't know when. It might take a lot longer than I'm thinking, but I think this is something that could actually happen and actually become like a guild event.
Alrighty, and anyone who is interested in participating in this or helping him plan this,
you're not feeling it. See, you're not feeling it. I'm hurt.
CTR.
I'm hurt.
You're hurt.
This is a good idea. People are going to like this idea. It's going to be a good idea.
It sounds fun.
The only drawback is obviously if you're going to be on this, you have to fly on your own dime. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, but I think with 4,000 people, we can find 14 that can do that or that live close enough to just drive down. Mm-hmm. 2 weeks of your life. It'll be awesome. So think about that. Well,
there's a lot of details to figure out.
There's tons.
Anyone who has ideas, please tweet at us and let us know. Email us, or you know what? Post in the forum. I'll go and make a forum post about it tonight. Mm-hmm. And so by the time you hear this, you can go to the Converted Podcast forums under signalsmedia.com and let us know your thoughts. See if you have any ideas about how we can make this a reality. What
does Sal think right now? What do you think?
I think you're freaking crazy is what I think.
I'm going to put you on the list of haters.
But you know what? I thought you were crazy when you wanted to make a podcast. So
well played. Well, hey, listen, man, what do we got coming up next, Sal?
Okay, we're going to head into a raid team spotlight, and we've got a very special guest because their team, Alter Time, is not a level 90 team.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so we're going to go talk to them right now. It's coming up.
All right, we'll see you on the other side, guys. All right, everybody, we got Vaindil, the raid leader from Altered Time in the house. Vaindil, man, yo, it's good to see you. I've been hearing a lot of hype about you coming on the show, man. People are sending me on Twitter, I can't wait to see him. I can't wait to hear about it. So, dude, you're here, man. Break it down. It's about time we get you on the show, man.
Yeah, it's great to be here. Thanks, you guys, for having me.
Yeah, so your team, Altered Time,
Yes.
that's a cute name. We're also going back in time. You guys are not a level 90 team.
No, we are not. We are a level 60 team currently.
Level 60 team.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's going on? What are you doing?
Well, right now we are running through classic content. We cleared Molten Core more times than I care to count. We've cleared AQ10, the Ruins of Encourage. We've cleared Blackwing Lair. And now we're working on AQ40, the Temple of Encourage. Basically, the idea is that we're going through all of the classic raids, and then we're going to move on, once we clear them, to BC, and then we're going to clear all the Burning Crusade raids in order, and then we're going to move on, so on and so forth, until we're current.
Okay.
That sounds so awesome, man. That's funny, because that's one of the things I've kind of always wanted to do that. Mm-hmm. And my excuse before was I can't find anybody to do it with.
Yeah.
Because if you're in a smaller guild, finding people that want to go back and do all the old stuff consistently. And then now it's just time. I just don't have the time. But that sounds awesome, and you get to experience the game, all the stuff that we love doing from the beginning. That's sweet.
Yeah, I really love doing it. When it was an idea that I had on my old server on Cosmodon, but no one there was interested in it. I couldn't find a team no matter how hard I tried. And so when the CTR guild was announced, I started a new character, and I posted on the forums, and because I couldn't find anything here either, and so I was like, it's probably not going to happen. But a few weeks later, I had 10 people, I think, signed up, and so we got started going through Molten Core, because the way things have been tweaked now, it was originally a 40-man raid, but now, just because the classes have changed so much and things are not overpowered, but they're more powerful than they were at that time. And so we started clearing Molten Core with only 10 people instead of 40, and so now we've moved on, and now we're at Temple of Encourage, and we can't get enough people for that one. So. Oh
yeah, that's different.
Yeah, we're stuck on the.
No, go ahead, man. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
We're stuck on the Twins, which is the third to last boss. There's Ordos after him, which is optional, and then Cthulhu. And we've been working with another guild from Moonguard, actually. They're called Bringing Back Vanilla, and we've been getting some of their guys to come in cross realm. We had 35 people at one point raiding with us. 35 people total in our last week's Sunday raid. And we were still having trouble getting the Twins down.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah, it's a tough fight, especially when you're at level. Yeah.
Well, what's the problem? Is it that you don't have enough people? Is it that you need gear?
Well,
what's going on?
Well, mainly at this point, it is just the number of people we have. We have probably 20 people who show up regularly, I'd say. And just the mechanics of that fight. You have one of the emperors on one platform, and he can only take damage, or he can only take physical damage, and only a physical tank can tank him. On the other platform, you have the other emperor. He is a caster, and only caster damage can hurt him. Only magic can hurt him, and you have to have a caster tank him as well. Now, the fun part is that they teleport platforms every 30 seconds. And so
you have to
they swap, they reset the aggro when they do that. The caster just grabs the nearest caster, doesn't care who's attacking him, whatever. Whoever's nearest, he starts attacking him, and the other guy can be kind of sort of tanked like normal. And so the difficulty is that all of the DPS have to run back and forth, and then we just have 2 tanks on each platform. And we're pretty good, or we're pretty sure the strategy is okay. It's just the numbers. We just need more people at this point.
Oh, wow.
We got him down to 40%, I want to say, last Sunday, yeah.
So you need more level 60, right?
Yes, our basic rules are that you can't do any content beyond where we're at right now. So right now we're in vanilla, so you can't have any profession gear, you can't have any BC gear, anything from beyond level 60 or profession level 300. And so anything that was there in vanilla is fair game, anything like that, but it's basically you have to be level 60 and you can't have any gear from beyond what was there in vanilla.
Okay.
Right.
That's pretty neat.
Okay, so you're open. Do you want some more members?
We would love more members, yes.
Yeah.
This content right now is 40 men because all of the vanilla content was 40 men. But once we move on to Burning Crusade, it's except for Karazhan, it's all 25-man content, and we can do 25-man from there on. And we were originally just going to be a 10-man team, but there were so many people who wanted to join, and the team wanted to do it, so we bumped up to 25-man. And so we just need a few more people who can be there regularly, and then that'll really help us, and we'll have the full 25 people we need for a team.
What are you looking for? Are you looking for DPS, healers? Do you have the picks already?
We need a couple healers, and we need a couple DPS. We need 2 healers, and we need 3 DPS, I believe.
Okay. Wow, that's not very far away. Guys, if you got
there's got to be somebody out there listening that
you're building up. Level 60 is not hard to hit.
That sounds like a lot of fun, man.
You could gear up. Sorry, you can level up with like heirlooms and stuff. Hit level 60, turn off the XP. Yep. Well, but you still need to get gear.
Yeah, and people haven't really been having problems with that. It's mainly been just run Blackrock Spire a few times and you've got stuff. Or just doing a few of the quests at level 60 or some of the things that you can get. That's really all it's been, because obviously you can't use heirlooms. We say no heirlooms. But yeah, people who leveled up really fast to get with us, they just said that they ran up our Blackrock Spire or Blackrock Depths a few times and they were all set.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so it's really not.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, man. The lag. I'm sorry. With the lag, I'm cutting you off. I'm sorry, man. Go ahead. Finish.
Yeah. No. I was just gonna say it's really not that difficult to get your gear caught up once you hit level 60.
Cool.
But, sorry.
Now, when you guys are doing this at level, like, are you having to really follow the mechanics like to the letter of the law, or is there some kind of like, let's just cheese this? You know what I mean? Like, does everybody have to be doing what they're supposed to be doing at level, or is it still kind of like you said, because the class has changed a little bit, kind of easier than it would have been originally?
Yeah, it is. It is quite a bit easier. Molten Core was really the biggest one. I have guides written up for all the bosses, of course, and I would go through them the first few times, but really just the basics of kill these 2 ads first and then kill the other guy. That's really all there is to it. You don't have to worry about all of the in-depth mechanics that they used to have and things like that, especially when we have enough people. There are some bosses that you do have to worry about that on, mainly is the twins right now. One of the other ones that we struggled on for a while is Thancred, also an AQ40. He was our wall for quite some time. We could not get him down. It's knowing where the people get teleported. I mean, I won't get into the mechanics unless you want me to, but it's only a few of the fights that you really have to worry about the mechanics on, because we are more overpowered. And it'll get closer and closer to the difficulty that was intended as we move closer to current content.
Mm-hmm. Sure,
but for right now, it's fairly easy.
Now, I didn't raid back then. Like, when I came into the game, raiding was Karazhan. That's kind of what everybody was working on. Mm-hmm. Were the fights designed? I'm sure they've come a long way, but were the fights designed? Were they just easier? Were there just less things to do? Like now, it's like DPS do this, healers do that, tanks do that, swap. I mean, there's tons of stuff happening now. Were the encounters as complicated back in those raids?
Well, they're kind of different. They're complicated in their own way. The mechanics themselves really aren't bad. Back then, everyone says the idea was getting 40 people together and managing them was a raid boss in itself. But there aren't too many things, and it's really interesting actually, because we say things are based on whether you're a healer, a tank, or DPS, and then whether you're melee DPS or caster DPS, and those are really all the demarcations you need. But for a lot of this stuff, and again, we didn't really have to worry about this just because of the way content is, or balancing has changed. But a lot of this stuff, as it was originally intended, you would need 4 hunters, you would need 5 warlocks, for example. I mean, you would need to have a very specific class makeup.
Okay.
And so that's kind of, I thought that was more interesting, or I thought it was really interesting, I should say. Just because, the mechanics themselves really aren't bad. It's just that you need to have the class makeup in order to do it and have the right number of people to hit all these rotations that need to be hit and all that kind of stuff.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah, I kind of wondered that. I was like, I wonder if, I'm sure because they've come a long way in developing encounters, I'm sure. But I was wondering how they compared to the earlier stuff that I never got to do at level,
Yeah, just in terms of plain mechanics, I mean, they're fairly boring if you compare it to the mechanics that we have now. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, well, all of us are fans of Convert to Raid podcast, and of course they have their iTunes, right? Are any of you involved in that?
I believe there are a couple people who were involved with iTunes. Not many of us, though. I really just posted it on the forum, trying to see if I could get people. The main reason I did that instead of going with iTunes was because by the time I got into it, I only started playing WoW a year and a half ago, so I'm still relatively new. But by the time I got into it and wanted to do this kind of thing, iTunes was already at level 80, I want to say.
Okay,
and so,
for anyone that doesn't know, iTunes was basically doing the same thing these guys are doing,
yeah.
But they started a lot longer before Alter Time did.
Yeah.
So you started after Convert to Raid Guild started.
Yeah, we started it was right around the end of April this year.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
So, yeah.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So, loot, man. What's the loot system like for you guys? What are you guys doing with loot?
We do master looting. I'm the master looter, and it's basically just handling, or we do main spec over off spec, I should say.
Sure.
Just a pretty basic system. We don't use anything fancy.
Okay.
You know what? We haven't talked to anyone who uses anything fancy. So everyone in guild is pretty much doing the role, main spec over off spec.
It's easy.
I did consider for a while trying to come up with some sort of DKP, just because that's what a lot of guilds did back then. But I figured, for what we're doing, we're really in it to see the raid encounters. We're not in it for the full level 60 experience. We don't need. We're kind of doing the raiding. That's our focus, and so we didn't need to really get into DKP and loot council and all that kind of stuff that was fairly common back then.
Now, do you do any raiding outside of this? Like, are you doing any level 90 stuff?
I'm not, actually. I've been looking for a team, but I'm not doing any right now.
But no LFRs either? Like
oh, I'm sorry. I do. Yes, I do LFR. I don't do any normals or heroics, though.
I was going to say, I was wondering if you had 90s. So you're doing LFR and stuff. But are you looking so you're looking for a team? Yeah,
I am. I'm not trying to put myself out there right now. But
what's your main? Like, what's your main tune?
My main is Vaindil, and it's a level 90 Guardian Druid. The eye level isn't quite up to par because I've kind of slacked off and I've been focusing on some alts lately.
Yeah.
But if I can find a team that'll want me, I'll work on getting my eye level up. But that's the main thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But back to Alter Time. So you work.
Nice segue,
you work with Moonguard. I'm sorry. What did you say? Something.
Bringing Back Vanilla is the name of the guild.
Bringing Back Vanilla on Moonguard. That's cool. It's got the Cross Realm stuff going on. I'm a big fan of Cross Realm. Mm-hmm. I know a lot of people aren't, but it's been pretty awesome for me with my friends all over the world. But so what's the division there? Are you bringing 2 people from over there? Are you bringing 10 people?
Oh well, this Sunday was the second week that we did it, or that we got with them. The week before was the week we really hit a wall on the Twins. And so 2 weeks ago, we got with them, and that was the week we got 35. I think our max was 38 at one point, actually. And so we worked on the Twins for a little while, and we just couldn't do it. And so a bunch of people left, and then we moved on and did Molten Core for another time. But then this week we brought in, I want to say we had around 10 at our most. And so we had around 20, 21 from us. And then we brought in 18 or so the first week, and then we brought in around 7 to 10 last week. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. That's cool that you got so different teams going on.
Yeah.
I think it's really cool.
Yeah.
I really enjoy it. We've been trying to find extra people for a long time for the team. We've had people trickling in, but we haven't really had people. We've had a few people who apply and then they say, I'm so excited, and they just haven't shown up yet.
That always happens.
Are you finding like people that are staying motivated? You know what I mean? To stick around and keep doing this? Or is it some people are like, yeah, I'll try it out for a couple of weeks, and it's like, it was cool, but I'm going to go do level 90 stuff. Like, are you having...
No, I know what you mean. Everyone so far has been really motivated. The only thing that I'm hearing now is that everyone's ready to be done with vanilla and they want to move on to Burning Crusade. But other than that, everyone, I mentioned that I personally would love to stick this through all the way until we're current, whatever expansion may be out at that time. And everyone has said, yeah, I'm so excited, let's do it. And so, cool. Yeah, it's been a so far a long-term commitment at least.
Good deal.
Yeah. I would love to go back and do Black Temple at level. I think that'd be so awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Such an epic place.
Mm-hmm. I've been through some of those above level. I mean, I was 85 or 90 when I did some of those, and they look so amazing. I'm so excited to do them. The one thing that I was most disappointed about, though, is that Karazhan is one of my favorite raids, and it's only 10-man. You can't do 25-man in Karazhan.
What are you going to do? Just split up into 2 teams? What's your plan for that?
What I think we're going to do is split up into 3 teams, and then for each of those, or each night when we work on Karazhan, or I'm sorry, let me start over. We're going to split up into 3 teams, and each team will have its own person who's the raid leader, essentially.
Okay.
And then we'll have set times, so we'll do whatever it is. The first night will probably be all night Karazhan. The next week we'll do a couple hours of pushing through Karazhan some more, and then we'll come back all together as a team and move on to Gruul's Lair or whatever we end up doing. But that's the idea, is we'll essentially be 3 separate raid teams until we get through that. And except for the times when we just push forward a little bit.
Gosh, I can see tanks being a problem with that.
Yeah, and that's something we're working on. But we have a few people who can be off tanks. And Burning Crusade, they really started having stuff where you only needed 2 tanks, especially because it's only 10-man. So we're hoping it won't be too big of a problem, because I think we have enough people to tank all of those. But we're going to have to see.
Okay.
I haven't really sat down and crunched the numbers yet.
But wow. Well, I really hope that this cast gets you some more level 60 players.
I hope so too.
If you're listening out there, man, look for Vaindil, man, and hook it up, make it happen. Level 60.
Yeah.
Do you know how fast it is to get to level 60? Put a few heirlooms on, run some dungeons, do some pet battles, just done.
Yeah.
You know, 60 is not hard to get to, and then you get to do this awesome content.
Now, what night do you guys raid?
We raid Sunday nights from 4 to 8 p.m. server.
Okay.
4 to 8 server. Yeah,
Yep.
That's a great night too.
Yeah.
Every time we have someone on, I'm like, oh.
We'd love to have you.
I've got a holy pally coming up. That's
Uh-oh, Sal. Uh-oh.
There we go.
Yeah, I've also got an enhanced chamois coming up, and I've also got a warrior coming up, and I've also got a rogue. And yeah.
Yeah, I know that feeling.
Well, listen, man, do you have any shout-outs for your peeps, man? I know you got a lot of peeps that know who you are, man, and are excited for you to be here. Do you got any shout-outs for them?
I guess I would just give a shout-out to John, who is he's one of my assistants. Remedeez, I think you guys all know her. She was another assistant, but she unfortunately had to step down along with some of our other raid teams, but I'll give her a shout-out. Yeah, those are the 2 I guess I would give out. Just to my assistants. They're awesome people.
Cool.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okie dokie.
Yeah, it was great hearing about you guys, man. This is fantastic.
Yeah, it was awesome to be here. Thanks, guys.
And the way that they can find you, you're on the forums. You've got quite an active page on the forums.
Yes, I am on the forums. Pages. Correct.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
In fact, when I was trying to... Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I do have the page on the forums, the Alter Time post and team pages. You can send me a message. It's Vaindil, Vaindil, or I'm sure it's going to be posted. I'm also Vaindil in-game. I have a bunch of alts, but I'm not going to bore you with all of them. But those are the main places.
Okay.
Are you on Twitter?
Hey.
I'm not on Twitter.
Hey. I'm sorry. We were yelling at each other. What was your answer to that?
No, that's fine. No, I am not on Twitter, unfortunately.
Okay.
I do have a really easy email address, though, vaindil@gmail.com.
Okay. So
there you
people
go.
can email you there, too. Cool.
Yeah, that works.
Cool. Well, thanks so much for coming on, Vaindil. And Alter Time is such a neat thing. You're the first Louu raid team that we've had on. You know, so that's pretty awesome.
Cool. Yeah, it's really exciting.
Well, good luck to you guys, man. And stay in touch.
You.
And we'll catch you again, man, and we'll do something maybe one day. Maybe Sal can get on your team and do something with you guys.
Sounds awesome.
Sundays.
Love that.
All right, Vaindil, thanks a lot, man.
Yeah, thank you.
Talk to you later.
Take it easy.
Yep, bye.
Bye.
Oh, hi! Didn't see you there. This is Louu for Raid Awareness. Sorry I missed you last week. I was out of town. Looks like we had a pretty busy last couple weeks. We have quite a few actually now hitting the heroics, so I'm excited for this week, you guys. To kick us off, Omega is now 6 of 12, but unfortunately will be disbanding due to scheduling conflicts. We went from front to back, killed 2 bosses, and is now fighting snakes. Exalted with the repair bots became 6 of 12. Rolling Thunder is now 7 of 12 with a special thanks to their fill-ins. It was like 7 of them. Droppin' with Jeeves is now 12 of 12 and will be hitting the heroics. Good job, you guys. 0% Heroes down heroic G-Kun and are now 2 of 12 in heroic TOT. Boats and Hosen is now 12 of 12. I know that's Teek's team, so I'm glad to see that they're going all in the right direction. Fight Club has down all the way down to Lei Shen. Good job to one of our newest raid groups. Good job, you guys. Bonus rolls for Gold squashed 3 new bosses, and they love their cheerleader Jamal. I wish we had a cheerleader. Here's a Plan is now 12 of 12 in TOT. Brood Awakening, Don Magnera, and G-Kun making them 6 of 12, and a special thanks to their fill-ins. Convert to Beer is now 2 heroic bosses in. Holy cow, listen to all these heroics. Big Truffle and Little China worked 3 progression bosses, making them 8 of 12 in 1 week. Holy cow. The Casuals are now 4 of 13 heroic. Slowdown Raiders are now 1 of 13 heroic. Team Chaos are now 3 of 13 heroic. I think they might be 3 of 12. I think I might have that wrong. If not, I'm sorry, guys. We have Sparkle Motion, Downing Heroic, nope, just regular Horde and Poopy Head. League of Extraordinary Avocados is now 12 of 12. Outside the Box defeated Lei Shen with a thank you to Darius for the pointers he offered them. Project Failsauce is now 12 of 12 and brought home the CTR Nalic TOT Guild Run achievement. Yay, good job, you guys. Muscle Sprouts are now 12 of 12 in TOT with a special thanks to a number of people, including those who have left. The Watermelon Initiative is now 9 of 12 and is currently recruiting 1 DPS or tank. Contact Spanx, that's SPANXX, for details. Rathian Chronicles down Heroic Horde and Poopy Head and are now 3 of 13 Heroic. Exalted with Repair Bots are now 8 of 12, and they are also looking for a ranged DPS, so check out their team page for details. Again, that's Exalted with Repair Bots. And last but not least, Collared Fiends are now 2 of 12, and they killed Horror Poopy Head. That is Horodon for those of you who don't know my Twitter reference. That is also my new team with my Shaman. So that's all for this week, guys. I'll see you in, 2 weeks sounds good. See you later.
Hi guys, Red here. I'm just here to give you a little bit of event updates. So a couple events we have coming up soon. On Monday the 29th, we have our scavenger hunt. It's going to be all across Eastern Kingdoms and Kalimdor. You're going to meet up and you're going to go over what you need to collect. The most important, most exciting thing is that there's going to be a chopper for the first place prize. So put on your scavenger hunt hats and be there at 6 p.m. In addition, every Monday from now until I can't do it anymore, at 3 p.m. server on Mondays, we're going to have pony runs, which have been happening in the past. We were trying out a couple different days, but Monday seems to be the good day for people. If they're safe, they can bring alts, and it works out pretty well. So we'll be hitting up Tempest Keep, Obsidian Sanctum, 3 Drakes, either 10 or 25, VOA, EOE, and Ani. So if you don't have any of those, or you just want to come kill stuff for Transmog, come along. I'll be spamming in Guild. In addition, we have resurrected our MSV raid race. More information about signing up, what the requirements are, things like that are going to come out on Monday on the forums. So make sure you check. True is doing the mastermind behind that with Solar Flare, so make sure that you are looking, especially if you're a raid leader and you want to kind of get into some friendly competition with the rest of the raid teams, definitely check it out. Speaking of Solar Flare, he'll be doing Friday night LFR runs from now until I guess he can, and they're going to be at 6 p.m. every Friday. So if you don't want to not run with a guild group or you're having trouble find one, there's another time for you to get one. Bring your alts, bring your mains, whatever. Really exciting event that's coming up, and it doesn't have a date because how could we? It's the 5.4 kickoff. We're going to all get together in Old Theramore, and we're going to have a rally and talk about how awful Garrosh is, and scream and holler and yell and put on our Theramore banners and throw down CTR banners, and we're going to be just super excited, and then we're going to all RP march to Orgrimmar and murder Garrosh Hellscream, and then we're going to go do the rest of the Fort of the Alliance because the Horde deserves to die. So you guys may have heard, boot camps are coming around for 5.4 as well. It'll be the first or second week of 5.4. With that comes we need bootcamp leaders. So if you're interested in leading a session for bootcamp, that can be a class session. If you have like week hours experience, anything that you think might be helpful, we're going to be having a bootcamp leader session, actually several of them, throughout the next month, since that's about the time frame we have. So the first two are scheduled August 5th at 5 p.m. server and August 7th at 4 p.m. server, and those will also be on the forum soon. It's basically just going to go a rundown of, this is how it's going to work this time. There are going to be some changes. So if you're interested, definitely show up. So that's pretty much that. Some other events we have that aren't scheduled quite yet, but they are on the horizon. We have a Brawlers tournament hosted by Solar Flare, an imitation contest, so you can imitate your favorite whatevers. Weekly late night Tuesday LFR runs, those may be starting as soon as next week. So this is probably a couple hours later than Sal and Copperbolt's run. Obviously 5.4 boot camps, amazing race through Azeroth, some achieve runs to get some of the co-guilds their achieves that they don't have, and a super secret and exciting thing for raid teams that I can't say anything about yet. So those are pretty much all the events that are on the calendar for right now. We're also looking for additional event planners. So if you're interested in being an event planner or just helping out, go ahead and shoot us an email at ctrguildevents@gmail.com, and we can go ahead and talk to you, see what you'd like to do, if this is really something you'd like to do, because we do need more. Also, just another little bullet, we're collecting mats for Food and Flask for an event that's coming up. So if you have any extra bits just laying around in your bank, or if you just want to donate and help out, send any of those kind of mats to Tuarts. And I believe you spell that Tuarts. There may be an extra R in there, so if it's wrong, I'll make a note on the YouTube video. But that's pretty much it. If you guys have any questions, feel free to shoot me anything on Twitter at _thered. And you can also just shoot me an email at the ctrguildevents@gmail.com. Thanks, guys. Bye.
All right, guys, welcome back. Thank you, Vaindil, Louu, and Red. That was awesome. Great interview with Vaindil. Really, that's really cool about that team. That's really unique. I like that.
I'm very interested in that team. That was a first for us.
Yeah.
So that was unique. I'm really glad we had them on episode 11. And then thanks, Louu, for coming on, letting us know about the raid stuff. And then the guild events, Red. I love your hat.
That's awesome.
Okay.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
It's great. So yeah, Roundtable.
Yes.
End of the show.
At the end of the show, guys. Well, let me break it down real quick again, just so you guys know. At the end of the show, you're gonna have, if you're listening to this on iTunes or Stitcher, you're gonna have the audio portion of the Roundtable. If you want to see the Roundtable, which I highly recommend you do, go to our YouTube channel where you normally go to watch our shows, and you'll see the Roundtable video on there as a separate video from the show. So you're gonna see two videos every time we have a show. You're gonna see two videos: the podcast itself video, and you're gonna have the Roundtable video. So make sure you check out the Roundtable. It was really good. It was a lot of fun.
It was a good one this week.
Yeah,
definitely. And we didn't have any technical issues,
which
is also a first for us.
And if you want to be on the Roundtable, the best way to do that, really the only way, is to email us at convertedpodcast@gmail.com. Send us an email. In-game is not the right way to do it. You can go to our website, and do it there, convertedpodcast.com. You can do it there, or you can send us an email, but don't send it to us in game, because we're not going to remember, and we're in the middle of a raid or whatever. It's just not going to work out that way. So, but please
do talk to us.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Say what's up, and let us know, because we want to get everybody on this Roundtable. It was a blast. A lot of fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you don't have to be an auction house expert or a host of a podcast to come on, because we want you. All right.
Yes.
Okay. Actually, Belschnickel, I have a few announcements to make.
Okay. What's up?
All right. Okay. So last week we had Tommen from Threat Level Midnight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, he forgot to mention something. He's got this really cool raid tool where you can track the gear of your team. Okay. And then like the average eye level and gear level of your group. Okay.
All right.
It's really useful. I recommend it. So just go to the Signals Media forums, then just do a quick forum search for Raid Info Tool.
Okay.
Raid Info Tool on the forums, and you can find it. It's definitely worth checking out if you're a raid leader. Did you know Mega Code, friend of the show, awesome. I got to get him on here.
Yeah, we got to make that happen, man.
Yeah. Okay. No, he's Holy Paladin extraordinaire. Has his Holy Paladin Roundtable that just came out.
Okay.
Okay, they talked about rating changes with the 5.4 coming up. Healingspec.com is where to find that. Healingspec.com, mega code, Holy Paladin Roundtable. And then I had another announcement. Oh, it says, yes, if you wanted to be on the Converted. Oh, we want your raid team on the Converted. We now are accepting raid teams for September. So let us know if you are the leader of a raid team and you would like to come talk to us for a raid team spotlight. We'd love to have you on.
It's easy to do, guys. Just take 2 seconds, write an email, and we'll get you on the show. It's not hard. You know, I was talking to some people in Mumble the other night, and they were like, "Hey, how do we get on the show?" Just send an email.
Us.
It's easy. 2 seconds. Awesome. Hey, listen, Sal. Something real quick, man. As we're getting close to the announcement, there's a guy running around the guild on Aerie Peak. He's perpetrating. Okay, he goes by the name of Welsh Pickle. Yeah,
that's not you.
That's not me. Okay, and he's going around and he's sullying my good name. You know, no, he's not really sullying, but he's going around people saying, "Hey, what's the deal?" So I got a message for you, okay, man? I don't know who you are. I don't know what you want. If you are looking for ransom, I can tell you, I have no gold. But what I do have is a very particular set of skills. Skills that I have acquired over a very long gaming career. Skills that make me a nightmare for people like you. If you delete your tune now, that'll be the end of it. I will not look for you. I will not pursue you. If you don't, I will look for you. I will find you. And I will tickle you until you pee. You're on notice, Welsh Pickle. Good luck.
Well, then, we now have Converted podcast shout-outs. I was biting my lips so hard.
Welsh Pickle, man, is Moustache. He's a cool cat, man. He's funny. But I was like, listen, man, you can't be running around town, you know, with the name that rhymes with Belschnickel, man. There's Belschnickel the priest, there's Belschnickel the mage, and there's like a Belschnickel monk. That's it. There's only 3. So I had to put him on blast a little bit. So there it is, man.
I support Welsh Pickle.
Moustache is really cool, though, man. That's awesome. Well, hey, let's get in with the shout-outs, man.
Okay, the Converted shout-outs. Why don't you bring us in? We have a shout-out from Shambra. Go ahead.
All right, Shambra gives a shout-out to @Bruce Willis for finally getting his stupid monk trinket. So he got it.
All right. Inside joke. Okay, now Yuki wants to give a shout out to my monk meditation family. Talking about Wow Monk, Sunny Bear, Aaron Monk, Daikatsu TTR. And now Yuki wants to shout out to Rex for giving
him.
Is now Yuki him?
Yes.
A raid spot. Yes.
Awesome.
All right. So to the monks and to Rex. Okay.
All right. Dev wants to give a shout out to hold on a second. I just skipped ahead. Yeah. Shout out to Rex as well, and Tootroot for finding an official LFR drinking game. So I don't know what that's all about. I kind of heard rumblings of what was going down, but I guess it's an official drinking game for LFR. So Dev's giving a shout out for that.
That's not family friendly, and I love it. Okay, Jessica Stoops says, shout out to Dunlock, Zagnuk, and Belschnickel for improving my Tuesdays by keeping the laughter rolling.
Good stuff. Friend of the show, Rex, is giving another shout out to Megacode for the Holy Pally Roundtable and it's all his advice in the game. It really changes how he plays. So that's pretty cool. Also, shout out to Party 5 for the entertainment and the drinking game. Shout out to Team 26 Gold for their first tot kill. That's an alt team that we go on Monday nights. It's a blast. Shout out to Trace from my raid team for the win, for finally getting his cloak, which Trace, it puts out some late DPS. And I was talking to him in game in Whispers, and he was telling me he was working on the cloak, and it took him a little while, man. So if he had an issue with it, it's not easy, because Trace puts out some killer DPS. So shout out for our team from him, and shifting Eden. One of our tanks played with food poisoning. He wasn't feeling good. He still came out and raided. So he's giving him a shout out as well.
Oh, okay. Cinnamon wants to make a shout out to Tuesday night LFRs with the CTR crew. That's right. Always fun and entertaining. Thanks.
And Lumpin wants to give a shout out to my peeps in Get Off My Lawn for downing Lei Shen. So that's awesome. Fantastic.
That's amazing. Okay, cool. Blaze wants to make a shout out to Copperbolt for her tireless work in putting together LFR groups. Blaze, that's me that puts those together. That's me. Okay, I understand that me and Copperbolt are always next to each other, that we're friends, we're always talking, but that's me. Okay, and she also wants to shout out to Copperbolt for falling asleep during, she says, Primordius. It wasn't Primordius that she fell asleep on. I'm going to tell you this right now, Belschnickel.
What's up?
Copperbolt fell asleep during Dark Animus. Like
she literally fell asleep fight. During the raid.
Yeah, I know LFR is boring, but I'm telling you, her husband had to go, Greyshade had to go get her, and she had keyboard stuff in her forehead.
Oh my gosh.
Okay,
she was playing a mage.
What? Just roll your face across
awesome.
it.
Okay. Yeah, speaking of mages, Kana Codex wants to give a shout out to me for admitting that mages are awesome. And I may have said something to that effect on Twitter. On Twitter sometimes you kind of get almost just drunk with silliness on Twitter. That might have been what happened. But no, I do have a mage too, so that's cool, man. Kana Codex is fun, good times. Also, this next one came to me in game, which normally is not the best way to give us a shout out, but we got to read it, right? Right. It's a shout out from Sniper Wolf from the Fight Club team. He said in 4 weeks his team is 11 of 12 in TOT and will have Lei Shen down soon. And shout out to anybody who filled in to help him out. So that's pretty amazing. 4 weeks, 11 of 12. That's serious.
Awesome! Wow, 4 weeks to get a team to meld together. That's really great.
Yeah, really impressive.
Now we've got Zagnut, my Twitter stalker. Listen, Zagnut, I have a particular set of skills. Okay, yes. He's my Twitter stalker, and he wants to thank Bell for helping him release his inner madman.
This guy's creative, man. He's creative genius.
He's thinking about a career change. Now, if his career change is stalking Sal on Twitter, then he's doing a pretty good job. He also wants to shout out to Exclavier for gearing up at a breakneck pace. He also wants to shout out to Exclavier. No, I already said that. He also wants to shout out to Jessica Chaos for the Schnickelhead tabard.
Yo, check it out, right? I forgot how the conversation started, but they were talking about different things that they could do, like Belschnickel in game, and she actually made I said something about you're gonna have to gain rep with Belschnickel or something like that. I forgot the whole context of what we talked about, and then she made a comment. I'm like, you don't have a tabard for that, you know what I'm saying? And then she came back with an actual tabard, and it had this Elmo face on it, which is the background of something that TJ Spanks had made for me a few weeks ago. And it's actually a tabard, and it's like the Schnickel tabard. It's pretty cool. So get on Twitter, you can see it. It's under she has it under her pictures and stuff. It's kind of funny. So I got a kick out of that.
Okay, well, Zag also wants to shout out to your boy Rex for not deleting any of his tunes for another week. I don't get that, but he also wants to shout out to Summer Sal.
Oh, isn't that sweet?
For being such a good sport. Love you, Sal. Well, Zag, we shall see. No, he's... I can't even repeat the stuff he tweeted to me this week.
That's awesome.
All right? Something about tickle on my tushy.
Wow. Ooh, sounds a little scandalous.
Okay. iTunes reviews. There are no iTunes reviews. We would love to hear your comments. Go to iTunes, type a little thing, tell us how much you love or hate us, and we'll read them out.
All right. Sal, you got any personal shout-outs? You got any personal shout-outs for the people? Any of your personal peeps? Man, you got some love to share. Share it.
I want to shout out to Hug-A-Tree.
Okay.
I'm really happy Hug-A-Tree is in the guild now, and I think he'll be happy here.
I got a couple quick shout-outs, real quick. Fizzo Fury, he gave me a mana wormling pet to kind of to kind of get going in the pet battles. But even more impressive is this guy. If I'm getting everything correct, he actually found out about our guild and the Convert to Raid show by listening to our show.
Oh.
And that's why he's in the guild. So that's pretty awesome. I talked to him in Mumble the other day, real quick, and that's pretty neat. That's really cool. I was like, wow.
Wait a minute. Okay. Listen, this might be the same person. I'm not sure. Okay. Somebody sent me an in-game mail saying that they're from the Dallas area and saw me on the WoW Dallas meetup page.
That's him.
Okay.
That's him.
And then, but listen, he sent me. Then he whispered me in game. And he said that was him. I'm like, oh, hey, I was raiding. I'm like, I'm busy. I'll send you in-game mail back. So I went to send him back an in-game mail, but that character doesn't exist anymore. He probably got a name change on that character.
Okay.
So I've been trying. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, he's
listen,
Fizzo Fury.
Oh, okay. Well, listen, dude. I have not ignored you. I just didn't know how to get a hold of you. So,
so that's
hello,
pretty cool. He was in
welcome
Mumble.
to the guild.
Yeah, he sounds like a really good guy. I also want to give a shout out. I was on the Press Y podcast this week on their live thing, and I won a game. I won Torchlight 2, like for nothing, like just a roll. So
nice.
yeah, so I was really happy about that. So if you guys want to check out that show, check it out live. It's a lot of fun on Saturday nights at 9 server. So I was pumped about that. And also, even though he was on the show, I'm going to plug them again. Monk Meditation. Those guys are in our guild, and check them out if you're a monk. Even if you're not a monk and you're thinking about rolling one, check it out, man. Those guys they have a good show going on YouTube. It's on Monk Meditation. Look up Monk Meditation, you'll find it on YouTube. So I want to give them a plug too, because those guys are cool people, man. You got Air in there, you got Daikatsu, Sunny Bear, Naoyuki, and Wild Monk. So check them out, guys. Give them some support. And that's it for me, man.
Oh, speaking of you got Torchlight 2. What about Rex?
Oh,
Rex
my goodness. Yeah, Rex hooked us up lovely. Like, he gave Sal and I a copy of Borderlands 2, which is really cool. And then I think he did that thing you did where you had a couple extra copies of Modern Warfare. So he hooked us up, man. Thanks a lot for that. I really appreciate that. No doubt.
Honey, I don't know what you're doing sending me a shooting game, because I'm going to tell you right now, I will pwn you.
Oh, that's a challenge. You heard it here first.
Let's go. Let's go, Rex.
YouTube comments,
Thank you.
guys. Yeah, dude, thanks again, man. YouTube comments. We got H. Chili, who said, love the show yet again. Nice interview. Great job, Taman. We have Zagnat Azurigos. He puts, checks calendar. Is the next one out yet? I need my fix. Jordan Yandel says, woot, party 5.
Woot, woot.
Dunlock, I am Dunlock, says, digging the new format. Great show, guys.
I am Dunlock.
I am Dunlock. Yes, while Remedeez says, what? Party 5 shoutouts. Love it, guys. Great show as always. Can't wait for the next one. So thanks again, guys, for the YouTube shoutouts.
Okay, well, that about wraps us up, guys. Thank you for coming. Look for us at convertedpodcast.com for archived shows and links and forums.
And you can follow us on Twitter at ConvertedCTR. That's the show Twitter. You can follow me at BelschnickelCTR. And Sal, where can they follow you?
I am at Summer_Sal. And also, we do love hearing from you in game.
So next time we have our interview. Who do we got next, Sal?
Oh, we have the Watermelon Initiative next week.
Yes, yeah, that should be good. So we're excited about that. Make sure you guys stick around in the audio for the roundtable. It's coming up right after this.
It was a good one.
It was good. It was definitely good. You guys will enjoy it. And we will see you guys in 2 weeks. So
thanks for coming.
Thanks for coming out, guys. And yeah, enjoy the show. Hope you guys like it. All right, guys. Peace.
Night.
Good night. All right, guys. Welcome to the Converted Roundtable. We got awesome guests tonight, and we're pumped up. We're fired up. First of all, we got Mr. Sueshi, the
Greetings.
auction house man in the house right there. He's ready to go. He's ready to rock. We got Remedeez, the host of the Press Y podcast. What's up, Rem?
Hello. Hi.
And we've got Chaithi, the Monk Meditation man. If you're not watching Press Y podcast or Monk Meditation man, get on that. Little shameless plug for you guys, but those shows are both great. So, and obviously we got Sal and myself. So the topic today is in-game transaction or microtransactions in the game. So let's start off with you, Sueshi. Kind of break down for anybody who's not sure, who hasn't been keeping up with it, what's happening right now with World of Warcraft, and what are they doing with the in-game purchases and stuff? Can you break that down for us real quick?
Well, if you're hiding in a cave somewhere in Eastern Kingdoms and missed the fact that we had our first sort of non-pet, non-mount related pay transactions, the transmog helms, that's what's going on right now. And there's going to be a host of other items, everything from potentially a leveling potion to possibly lesser charm sales for your Mogu coins and things like that that are going to be going on to the Blizzard store.
Okay. Do you have any particular, like, let's break it down a little bit. Do you have any particular thoughts, or what do you see as the pros and cons of doing this? Why is Blizzard doing this? What do you think, anyway?
Well, the subs are down. I mean, you hear people say all the time that, well, they still have 8 million subscribers, but from where they were, they're losing subs. It's the summertime. It's pretty slow. I've just noticed from my friends list, there's a lot of people missing that haven't been on in a month, and any extra little revenues here and there, I think, are something any business would want to explore. So Blizzard is naturally exploring the microtransactions that a lot of free-to-play games have been utilizing for their only source of revenue stream for the last couple of years.
Okay. What about you, Chaithi? What are your thoughts?
Well, the fact is that it's a huge moneymaker. Having the these $15 transactions, or the mounts were $25. The second you bring that out, a lot of people say, "Oh, that's too expensive," but you see a lot of people running around in those. So just putting that out there, that's a huge revenue maker, obviously, just like Sueshi said.
And like the way I've always thought about it too, like I'm not somebody who buys this kind of stuff. Like for me, it doesn't mean anything. But obviously, they're looking at the numbers. So if they're doing it, people are buying it. I mean, they're making money. Otherwise, why put the time and effort into doing it?
Well, they've done other stuff before. Remedeez, have you ever purchased anything from the pet store?
Yeah, I do it all the time. I buy all the mounts, all the pets, everything.
I see a plushie behind you right now.
Yep,
from
that's
the Blizzard
my Wind Rider cub.
Your setup, it looks awesome.
Thank you.
So you are someone who potentially buys this kind of stuff.
Yes, I do. I love it. But I mean, I do it because I'm a completionist, so I have to have it all.
I have to have all the pets and all the mounts.
Right.
Right. Okay. So how about all the hats?
I don't know. That stuff is neither here nor there to me, and I don't know. What I think that Blizzard eventually is going to do, what I hope anyways, I hope that this is their move to free-to-play platform. Because if people are willing to pay for those things, I mean, like, the little plushie guy was like $30, you know what I mean? Like, that's 2 months of WoW time. So if you multiply that by all of the people that are buying these kinds of things, maybe eventually they'll just go free-to-play, and then I can buy it occasionally and feel like, okay, I'm justifying that because I'm still playing the game.
Well, that's a huge point. Let's put a pin on the free-to-play
okay.
idea. That's huge. Let's talk about what's going on right now and come back to free-to-play. The hats. Have you guys seen these hats in game yet?
I have not.
I saw one guy. I saw a Frost Death Knight running around with the blue skull helm, and when I saw him, this was like last week when they first came out, and I immediately logged out and went to go buy it, and that's when I saw it was $15, and I thought to myself, well, what is Blizzard's definition of micro versus my definition of micro, because they're definitely one's here and one's here.
You're thinking like micro, like $1, $2, something like that, right?
99 cents to $4.99, in my opinion, is micro.
Yeah.
So you saw some dude with like the skull helm, and you just logged out and went to go buy it.
Immediately, a sucker born every minute.
But did you?
No, I did not buy.
$15 is a lot. I mean, everybody has like their different price points and stuff of what they're willing to spend and what they're comfortable with. Like for me, like $15 would be a lot. Like I don't know, like Remedeez was saying, that's a month of game time. You know what I mean? But I mean, like people are doing it.
Chaithi, do you buy this kind of stuff?
I have bought some of the pets, and I do have like the aspects of the aspect of the the glowy dragon mount. Yes, aspect of the heart mount. So I enjoy the pets, but the hats, I did not see any of them that looked any good for a monk. So, and that's all I play anymore. Okay. So it didn't call out to me. Now, if I had a transmog set that looked awesome with those flame horns, I would probably plonk that down, because trying to find a good transmog set, it can be difficult, and it's not worth my time trying to farm that one drop from Archimond every week if I can just drop $15 and grab it.
Okay, so we've got the hats, and then pretty soon we're gonna get some toys. We're gonna get this hitching post mount, so everyone can ride the same mount. Pretty soon we're gonna get the seesaw or whatever it is. Basically, stuff that I've seen on WoW TCG Loot whatever. And these are fine, but there's other stuff going on that actually does affect.
Now, Sal, quick before we leave the gear though, like how far are we, do you think, from a situation where you can just buy regular gear? Like regular LFR gear, regular, heroic gear, if you have enough money. $30 for Thunderforge heroic gear. You mean, that could break the game, but I mean, do you think it could ever happen? Like, is that where we're heading a year or 2 years from now?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. Not in the US ever.
That'd be pretty messed up.
Ever?
I mean,
never
5 years
ever
on the road
never,
when it's
ever,
like 4 million subscribers, 3 million subscribers.
Okay, never is a strong word, but I think it will ruin the game, and I probably won't be playing if that's the model they go to.
Yeah,
because I earn my stuff, and it's like a sense of pride for me. And if someone can just go buy it, then the game loses its challenge. But before we go to that, I wanted to touch back on the helms. I read online earlier today that the shoulders are going to be coming out shortly, and I'm kind of wondering if you follow Twitter or read Twitter at all. There is an uprising, big uproar on Twitter about this $15 price tag, and I'm wondering if Blizzard doesn't come out with the shoulders and sort of credit anyone that bought the helm and give them the free shoulders and make it helm and shoulders for $15.
I bet they charge $15 for the shoulders.
You think?
Yeah,
I think so too.
I do.
It's possible.
I think they will, and it'll just be $30 for the set. I bet. I mean, I could be wrong.
That's so much money for gear, though. I mean, for I don't know.
But it's not gear. It's not gear. It's the way you look.
Exactly, but that's outrageous.
Yeah.
Well,
you have to really look at the economy of it. They want to keep it rare enough where you don't just look around and say, oh, well, everyone has that helm. You want to be able to still feel unique if you're plunking out that kind of money. So they have to look at the supply versus demand of it. And when it comes out, that's the price point they hit. Is like, okay, well, enough people are buying it where it's actually still making us money, and it's still rare, so more people want to buy it, and it kind of goes around like that. You drop it down to $5, $2, a lot more people have it, and then a lot less people want to buy it because everyone has it.
Okay, well, what about other games that do the same thing except charge $200 for it?
What do you mean $200?
Well, I mean, there are other games or other MMOs that will have these really special items, and they'll charge a ton of money. So the person that buys this is a unique snowflake.
One person,
Special snowflake,
Yeah.
And that's something that's really, it doesn't really exist that much in the game anymore. You hear a lot of podcasts cover, I think Darius was even talking about, having tier gear was this big deal. You'd sit in Stormwind with your tier, and you were a special snowflake. There's nothing really in-game that you can earn. I don't want to say nothing, but there are very few things in-game that you can earn that make you a special snowflake. I mean, you can have Ashes of Alar, and you'll be in Stormwind, and then 4 other people pop up with it. So maybe what Chai is saying is possibly Blizzard's mindset and thought process of making these $15 is that it's sort of pay to special snowflake syndrome. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So that could be the case here.
Well... Okay. $15 is too much for me to buy it. I wanted the fire horns.
The thing about it is the $15 is not an arbitrary number. I mean, these guys are looking at everything. They didn't just say, let's do $15. It's working. If they're doing it, it's because it's working. So.
Okay. Are we mad at them?
Oh, no. I'm not mad.
Do we care that they're selling transmog helms?
I'll just wait for a sale.
Yeah.
Yeah, wait for the sale is kind of how I'm looking at it too.
I'll pay 10.
Okay,
I'd pay $5.
I'd pay $1.
$4.99. Give it to me now.
I'm cheap.
I'll run my credit card.
Obviously, helmets are somewhere between pets and mounts. So it goes pets, transmog.
What about
mounts.
weapons? I would pay more for a weapon than I would for like a helm or a shoulder.
I'd do 15 on a weapon. Yeah.
I'd do 15 on a weapon if it was cool enough. Yeah, definitely.
Remember that old weapon that came out of the original Nax? I don't remember what it's called. Do you guys remember? It's kind of like what the guy at the end of ICC is carrying.
Oh, shoot.
A Tiege?
I forget. There's going to be listeners that know exactly what.
Yeah, they're yelling at the
big
podcast
sword
right
with
now.
The hole in it, right?
Yep, with a big hole in it. I saw a guy out in the Barrens running around with that thing, and it was awesome. And I paid $35 for that.
It's a little side story. When I was in Vanilla, there was rumors that one of the quest lines would open up. If you went through these crazy things, you would open up being able to get that thing. They came up with the corrupted version from Nax, is what it was.
The Ashbringer.
Ashbringer, there it is. Yes. And I remember doing these crazy little stupid things. Everyone in the forum said, oh, well, if you do this and this and that. And I'm like, I was a freaking druid. I couldn't even equip the thing. I don't know why I was doing that.
Oh, that's funny. Okay,
now,
go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Okay, the stuff that we think's coming out in Asia. Okay, XP boosts. Looks like they're coming out in Asia, and a way to get our lesser charms. This is not transmog. This is actually something that can affect the game. It doesn't really make you stronger.
See, I would pay for lesser charms. Like for me, like one of the bane. I mean, I don't mind doing the Baron stuff, but like lesser charms, I do it because I have to, not because I want to. So I'd pay a couple bucks a week to get those charms. Sure.
Isn't that technically the play to win, though?
Is it?
No, it is. It definitely is. I mean, it's because it's time versus money. But if the option was available, I'd jump on it. I mean, they say, hey, pay $1 and you get your 50 charms.
Sueshi,
I don't know.
I heard you the other day in the Mumble say that you would pay $50 for 1,000 lesser charms.
I would, and that's why I wanted to emphasize the difference between my idea of a microtransaction and Blizzard's. You know, we might all. It's easy for us to say, yeah, I'll pay $1 or $2 for 50 lesser charms. Well, it might not be $1 or $2. You might have to buy, 500 of these things for $50, or it could be, you buy 100 of them for $10 or something. It might not be so micro, and so It might be the kind of thing that excludes people that don't have the money, for that. I mean, I have 2 accounts. It's almost $33 a month after tax. If I had to add an extra $10 to $15 a month to get lessers on all my characters, I mean, I don't know, it would kind of break it for me. There's definitely gonna be a price point there that I think would be fair to all players, that are interested in buying them. And I think that an extra $1.99 for the week's lessers for one character is fair. $1.99 for 50 charms.
Yeah, but we thought $4.99 for a helm was fair.
There you go.
So what do you think, Matt? Would you buy? I'm sorry, didn't mean to cut you off, man.
No, that's the one where I worry a little bit more, because that becomes very close to pay to win, pay to get gear, because those lesser charms go into the Mogul Runes of Fate, and then that translates into actual rating gear.
I would agree with that.
I agree. I agree with you 100%. I mean, it's just one of those things. Sometimes you try to figure out if they can make money on it and not anger enough people, they'll do it. I mean, because I don't usually buy stuff, and I would probably think about paying for that.
But does this provide player power?
But you're not buying gear. You're buying things that give you the chance to get more gear. Yeah, but it's not a guarantee that you're gonna get gear.
Now, you guys you probably heard from the different podcasts why this kind of thing would come out in Asia, because they pay per hour of playtime. Then the way they do it, most of them don't play at home. They'll play in PC rooms. I've seen it. I've been in these PC cafes. They're not cafes at all. There's just giant rooms of computers. It's all they are. And people do go in here and raid and smoke tons of cigarettes, and it's gross. But they go and they'll pay like $1, $2 an hour. Yeah. And for them to get rid of things like XP, time for XP, and time spent on lesser charms, it makes a lot of sense for that kind of group. But does it make sense for a North American group?
Well, Sally, when you originally asked me to come on, it was to talk about the economy. So I wanted to talk about the economy with these lesser charms.
Okay.
The only way that the game essentially creates money is through killing mobs, herbing, skinning, and mining nodes, and completing quests. And if you don't, I know when I go to get my charms, I get about half of them from the Barons, and I get about the other half from dailies and other things like that. Well, if you have the price point set where most players can afford these lesser charms with real money, then you may see an effect to the economy there, because there's a lot less gold being pulled out of the game, because that's being replaced with real money. So you could even see it could benefit the game due to the fact that it could slow down the inflation that we see from expansion to expansion and patch to patch, but only if this was on a really large scale, like something like 70 to 80% of the players buying their lessers in this way. So that's just something that I thought of the other night.
Dude, you just took this to the next level, Sueshi.
Yeah.
Like you just went like next level economy crazy, man. That's deep. That's
well,
real
the gold
deep.
has to come from somewhere, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Good stuff, man.
Yeah, all my gold comes from herbs.
Herbs.
And selling them one at a time on the auction house.
You're the one that lists 1,000 of them in one stacks?
No, I don't do that. I'll do 40 of them.
So what do you guys think about the XP bonus? Like, isn't there like an XP flash or something like that? Or I mean, what do you think if that came here? What do you guys think about that?
I want it, hands down. I don't care how much it costs. I'll buy it. I'm an alcoholic, and then I'm a mom, and I stay at home, so I don't have much time to play the characters that I want to anymore, so I'll buy it, hands down.
Yeah, alcoholics rejoice at that. You know what I mean? Like,
I'd be cool with it as long as it wasn't like the 5 levels, as long as it wouldn't affect world first or server first.
So like what, like 1 to 85? You mean?
Yeah. Yes, but
Yeah,
the thing is,
no,
we already
yeah.
have these things in game. We already have these XP boosts with the heirlooms. So it's just another XP boost.
There's actually a flask very similar to that. I think it's a 100% XP that you can get by killing one of the rares, and it lasts for an hour. And you can give that to one of your alts. So this is technically already in game. It's just not being paid for.
Yeah, we need a little more information on the flask. Is it something that is like the Crystal of Insanity, where it never expires, and once you own it, you can click it, and unless you die, you know, it's basically unlimited flask. If you ever have heard of or have the Crystal of Insanity, we just need a little more information about the flask. Is it going to be the type of thing that once you purchase it, you can send it around to your alts, and you basically have just paid for the 100% experience? And if this is the case, I mean, leveling's already really fast. It slows down a little bit at the higher levels, but leveling's so quick already that you see a scarcity of a lot of herbs and a lot of skins and a lot of, mining things. Cobalt. You should go try to buy cobalt on any given day, and you're going to pay 6, 7, 8 gold per ore. So if you double that speed, you're going to reduce all of those lower level vanilla, BC, and Kata mats, and those things are going to go through the roof. So if this thing comes out, I want to know about it about a month in advance. I'm going to start stockpiling the living heck out of anything vanilla, anything low level, Kata stuff. Like, you ever go try to buy hypnotic dust? 20 gold a pop.
I wouldn't start doing that, Sushi, because remember, they're doing the catch-up mechanisms now, like blacksmithing and herbalism and everything like that, where you can actually just go to Pandaria and herb that, and they said they're bringing that to all the different classes, so you're not even going to need any of those mats at all.
Well, that's true. That's a good point, actually. Unless you're going to level something like alchemy, where you go and there's a bottleneck, and you need Goldthorn that comes from STV and other places, and it's $25 an herb because you just cruise through that zone. Imagine if you cruise through it twice as fast. Are we looking at paying $50 per vanilla herb because you've got an alchemy bottleneck? You know what I mean? So it's kind of dangerous in that way, and that's something that I've been thinking about a lot.
Yo, Sueshi, you're scaring me, man. You're scaring me.
You should see my dry erase board, man. It's crazy. You really want to
I was like, yeah, maybe one day I'll dabble in the auction house. No more. I'm done. I'm just gonna I'm out.
No, every time I try, I just get scared and run away.
If Jim Youngkin from Power Word Gold ever watches this, I want to give a shout out to that guy, because he gave me the best gold making advice. I emailed him one time several months ago to ask him for help, and he gave me like a one-liner. He goes, "Think expansively," and that's like the greatest tip that Jim's ever given me, or probably anyone else. So,
Sweet.
Yeah, that guy made me all the gold in the world in Cataclysm with those fortune cookies.
That's sweet.
Okay, so we've got our things. The XP boost and the coins. I don't know if this really provides player power yet. It doesn't do anything directly. We can't buy gear directly, but what about the future? What about the future? Do you think we will be able to actually go and purchase gear with stats on it, with money?
All right, I'll be that guy. That's the end of WoW, if that happens. If you're able to buy, let's say right now you're able to buy 522 gear, I'm done.
The thing is, if they go free to play, that's the only way they're going to make money.
Okay, Remedeez, you think that's what's happening?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, I hope they go free to play.
You hope that's what's happening?
Yeah.
I haven't heard anyone say that yet. So,
well, I mean,
let's expand on that.
How many other MMOs out on the market right now are still subscription based, and the ones that came out originally subscription based aren't subscription based anymore. They've gone free to play. Blizzard is like the only one left that I know of, so it's got to be coming.
But it's all cosmetic stuff. Like most of these games, you don't go out and buy the ultimate sword of awesomeness that you don't have to go raid.
Right, but they sell you character slots, they sell you extra classes. I've played so many MMOs, it's not even funny. But I know how it starts. They start with little things, pets and mounts and cosmetic things, and then it just grows, and then that's how you support a game being free to play.
Right.
Now you want it to go free to play.
I do. I think that would be amazing. That way I can just decide. I have the choice. I'm a grown adult. I can decide whenever I want to buy something, and I'm not locked to the subscription, so I can still play the game whenever I want to, and it feels more justified, more balanced. Don't get me wrong, I'm still paying my subscription. I've been paying it for the last 3 years. I love World of Warcraft, but I think that it would be nice if I'm going to buy something for $30 from the store, that it just feels more justified to me to do that.
Chaithi, do you want WoW to go free to play?
I do. Paying that $15 a month is rough, but you have to think, what would I actually pay for? I would pay for extra character slots. I wouldn't use them, but I would pay for that. I would pay for cosmetic things. I would pay for mounts, for pets, but I would draw the line at paying for gear, because that's what I love about this game, is the community, playing with my friends and actually getting this gear, that challenge. If that challenge is gone, the game's over for me.
Okay, there are games about, like, okay, SWTOR, let's just say it. A lot of people say that that game was ruined once it went free to play. You have to buy your action bars in that game.
Oh my gosh, really?
That's a bit much.
You know, you pay to breathe, basically. That game is unplayable without spending money. Just unplayable.
Do you guys think, Zal, do you think that it would have any effect, or Remedeez, or do you guys think it would have any effect on the people that play the game? Like, I mean, obviously in the game there's trolls and there's people playing that aren't necessarily the most pleasant people, but do you think that would change if anybody could play? Like everybody, like little Johnny to anybody could just get on there and start playing and start doing stuff? You think that would have any effect on the game we're playing?
I think it would ruin the game. I think that, I mean, people gripe about LFR trolls and stuff like that all the time. I generally have pretty decent experiences in LFR. I run a lot of them with the guild, and even the pug ones I'm in. You know, yeah, there's always a couple people that are crappy, but I haven't been in that many that just, it's an all eruption, you know. But if it goes to a free to play model, it takes out that gatekeeper and that goalie that, you know, people that love the game and are seriously about the game will pay for the game. And so I want to disagree with Rem and Chai and say I don't want it to go free to play, because we need that gatekeeper of that $15 to keep anyone from going in. And imagine the botters. Imagine the people that'll just get a free account and set it up to bot anything, copper ore, you know, in around Stormwind, and just sell that. Or, I mean, it doesn't even take a big time investment for a bot to come in and do this. The only reason that they don't, or that they're more careful about it, is that they invest in a character and they do the subscription, they have to buy the game. Well, if that doesn't cost any real money, botting would run rampant, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
How would that affect the economy?
Yeah, how about charging $30 for trade chat and $30 for LFR?
That's not a bad idea.
You can do that. You can say, hey, you got to pay $5 if you want to do LFR every month.
Yeah.
Okay, SWTOR. Okay, yeah. That would pretty dramatically affect the economy if you just had anyone.
Mm-hmm.
Part of me, like, the only thing I don't like about the free-to-play is I hate the feeling of being nickel and dimed. You know what I mean? Like, I pay my $15 a month.
That's the model.
And it's cool, and I don't have to worry about a thing. I don't really spend any more money on the game. But I don't know. It would kind of bug me if it's like, hey, everyone, we're going to go do this raid. Oh, shoot, it's $1. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, you know. Yeah. I mean, I'm exaggerating.
Think they would do that, though.
I'm exaggerating big time, but that's what I mean. Like, I hate to have to always be, like, checking out my PayPal and be like, oh, shoot, I got to, like, you know, throw some money in PayPal because I want to play WoW and do this or do that.
You know,
that's a good point, Val. It's annoying.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to talk over you there, Sal.
Oh, sorry. You know, with the lag and stuff, the people I know playing Rift right now are spending $8 or $10 a month. The people I know playing Secret World right now are spending more because Secret World is all about the pretty, right? But yeah, the people I know playing Secret World are spending $20 a month happily, and they're getting nickel and dime because that is the model. Mm-hmm. That's the free-to-play model. Yeah. That's what all the games are going towards. The games that are coming out, everyone's pretty much assuming that WildStar is going to be a subscription.
Mm-hmm. Final Fantasy XIV Realm Reborn is going to be subscription.
That's going to be subscription.
It's making a resurgence.
Yeah, so I mean, we're still having sub games come out.
Now, would you guys agree that eventually, before WoW dies, it does go free. Do you think it just like ends up being full pay to play the entire life of the game?
I think we could see a free to play once we get down to maybe under 4 million subs or something like that, half of what we have now. But I wanted to bring up another point. You know, the the free to play model does take a little bit of the fantasy out of the game, doesn't it? I mean, I was about to enter a raid the other night, and I went to log from one account to the other and realized my credit card had expired. And I was all, jibed to go hang out with these people and go raid, and I was logging over and was going to get my potions, and all of a sudden I was like, oh, it sucked me out of the world of fantasy and brought me into the real world where I had to grab my wallet and get my MasterCard out. And so I just couldn't imagine being in a game where it's like, oh man, look at this sword, like this is so sweet. And then you're thinking about it in a fantasy terms, and then it's like, oh, it's 99 cents. It's too much of it pulls you in and out of the worlds, and I don't want to be in this world when I'm in the World of Warcraft.
But are you saying you think like a piece of loot's gonna drop, but before you can like pick it up, it's a little thing's gonna come up and you gotta put some information in, or?
Well, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying when you're in the zone.
Because that would be horrible.
It would be. It would be. I just want to think about the fantasy of Azeroth when I'm in Azeroth.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Man.
Well, I can't speak. What does everyone else think about that with a free to play? When's it going to happen? Is it going to happen?
I think what's actually going to happen is when Titan comes out, it comes out, they're just going to roll it in, and it's going to be, if you pay for Titan, you get WoW for free.
That makes sense.
And if not, you have to still pay for WoW. They'll probably drop it down to like $7.50 instead of $15 a month. But I don't know if WoW will ever go actually free to play. I would kind of like it, but now I think Sueshi's actually bringing me around. But I just like it because I don't want to have to pay. But there you go.
That's a great point. I mean, I'm agreeing with Chai here a lot, but I like that idea. Pay for Titan, and you get WoW for free. And if you think about it, the price of World of Warcraft has been static all these years, and in a way it's dropped in price because they're not even increasing the sub price with inflation, which is 3% a year, compounding over 8 or 9, almost 9 years. So WoW should be $20 a month, and it's not. It's 15. Mm-hmm. So if they tied it into Titan and Titan made Titan, $17.99 or maybe even $20. That I think they could do both and support both games potentially.
WoW will be free to play by the time Titan comes out. Mark my words.
That's a bold
prediction. Write it down.
All right,
write it down. Remedeez said it.
It happened today.
Remedeez has called it.
Yep.
We'll talk about it when Titan comes out. I think, guys, you're wrong about the sub getting higher. I totally think you're wrong about that. I think if there's a sub, it's going to get lower. We're going to see it for $10. You think it's going to be zero? You think Titan's going to be zero?
Titan, no. I think Titan will probably be $10. Yeah.
How about a Blizzard Pass?
That would be sweet.
Pay $20, $25 a month, and get all of the Blizzard games.
Yeah. Well, when Blizzard All Stars comes out, that's going to be interesting.
That's never coming out. That's just not happening.
Because that's going to be a free to. That's going to be a free-to-play thing, I'm assuming, like Dota 2, League of Legends.
No, it has to be. It totally has to be.
But if you throw that in, you get the Blizzard All Pass, you get World of Warcraft, you get Titan, you get, two
Special
characters.
cards in Hearthstone.
Yeah, exactly.
You get a Diablo pet. You get I don't know. Yeah, a Blizzard Pass would be cool. I'd pay that.
Yeah,
I'm a
I would
Blizzard
too.
fan. StarCraft. I don't know what they could do there.
Well, there's no way they can't keep World of Warcraft at 15 when Blizzard's out and you have to pay. I mean, I'm not Blizzard. I'm sorry. When Titan's out and you have to pay for that one too. You're not gonna have two games at full price. So, well, guys, it's been awesome talking to you guys. Yeah, we're gonna have to wrap it up. Kind of close it out. Does anybody have any shout-outs they want to give out to Guildies, man, while you're here, man?
Phil loves the shout-out.
Listen, man, it's all about the shout-out, man, showing the love, So, Sueshi, man, I know you got.
I'll go last.
Man. You want to go last? All right, Remedeez.
Okay. Shout out to Rubber Chickens, 25-man raid team, and we're in sort of CTR Shaw, but we still have people spread out everywhere. And then my buddies Dunlock and Cage from Press Y Podcast, best friends ever.
Awesome.
He is Dunlock.
He is still monk.
Chaithi, man, what's up, man? You got any shout-outs?
Well, shout out to my raid team, Rolling Thunder. If you are a tank, DK, or druid, we need you so bad. Please come to our page and apply. Also, shout out to Air and now Yuki and Daikatsu and Sunnier for being on the Monk Meditation podcast with me. I really appreciate that. You guys have been awesome. And just shout out to all the monks out there. Have to do it.
Awesome.
I got to join this monk community. I'm going to work on a monk tomorrow or this weekend.
I want to go play mine now.
I mean, a lot of paladins, like Rem and I both play paladins, and we're cool when we know each other. But if we see you from afar, it's like keep your distance, bro.
Right.
Monks are all kind of like bros, you know.
Yep.
I just said bro twice.
Yeah.
It's all good.
My shout outs, Stack per Pound, my raid team, love you guys. Team Chaos came in there, been running with those guys, helped them down toward us the other night. So big grats to you guys on that kill. Salad Senate, rolling into Salad Senate a little bit. What's up? My buddy Boone, we've been running arenas and everything together. Gift in the box. It's going away at 5-4 because you're not going to have arena team names. But let's see who else. Air. Me and Boone and Air have been running a lot of heroic scenarios. So all those guys.
That was awesome.
Anybody I missed, I'm sorry. Oh, Party 5! Party 5!
Party 5!
Yeah. Nice.
All right.
Nice. Well, listen, guys, that's going to wrap it up, man, for the Roundtable. Thank you guys, each of you guys, for your time. We appreciate it. And we look forward to hooking up in game, man, and doing stuff with you guys. It's always a blast.
All right.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks.
All right. Thanks, guys.
All right. Tickle, tickle.
Yeah, tickle nation. Yes. All right, guys. See you later.
Later.
This podcast is a part of the Signals Media All-Star Network. For more information on this and other fine shows, go to signalsmedia.com. It's okay to stick our stuff in your ears. Really?